They pop crowd. They pop corn. They pop culture. It's the lowdown.
What is up, everyone? Wow.
What a way to start.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the latest installment of the Lowdown POPcast. I am the voice of PCW, the voice of Demons Football, and 1/3 ownership of the hottest wrestling promotion in the Mid-Atlantic and Palmetto Championship Wrestling, Elliot Popston. And to my right, breaking everything, is the founder of PCW, the hottest wrestling promotion in the Mid-Atlantic. He's the owner agent of Flyer Float Travel, where you can book your dream getaway at flyerfloattravel.com. He is the curator of Spirits for Shane. He can sell Ice and Eskimo, New York's greatest export, and the second third of ownership of Palmetto Championship Wrestling, Shane Tor.
It took me 30 seconds to start crying from laughing so hard. So here we are. First episode post PCW. Let's go.
Yeah, and to our left is 7-time fantasy football champion, podcast enthusiast. Hey, you listened to a new podcast this past week. We'll get into that. Soon to be Kevin Nash's favorite podcaster, just like his favorite wrestler. He's been known to outwork everyone with his self-proclaimed hottest Funko Pop collection. Not your average wrestling Mark handbook. And third ownership of PCW, Jonathan Winburn.
Not to make that intro even longer, but you forgot my new nickname.
Showtime.
Yeah, I did forget your new nickname.
He's a Sting fan, guys. This is going to be a lot of laughs tonight, I feel. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, for those who are just tuning in, we like to laugh a lot.
Check. Yep.
I'm crying, bro.
I don't laugh.
Really? I beg to
Snicker.
differ. You do more than that now.
Like a cat.
Now he does a little.
It's like a stalled car getting trying to start up.
Well, you know.
Oh, I sound like an engine this night.
Oh, dude, when I can't breathe, my face turns red. I start sweating and crying.
You start punching things. Like you start hitting things when you.
I can't. It's
like your phone.
It's my thing, dude. Yeah, that was so weird. I don't know what happened. It just fell. I don't know what it was. So, guys, first show through PCW Super Smash Brawl. So I've done this for 8 years. You know, it's a thing. I'd love to know what y'all think. It was your first show together with all of us. What'd you think?
Exhausting, but very rewarding.
Yes.
I felt the same as I normally do.
You got to announce. Why wouldn't you?
I was tired, just like I normally am on after events.
Yo, so we got home at what time?
2:30.
2:30 in the morning we got home.
That was about what time I got home.
Yeah, but
I didn't do everything y'all did.
It was awful.
I had to park and let my phone charge for like 30 minutes because it was dead. I couldn't do anything.
I know you were miserable.
Well, I was trying to get all the buzz from the show and messages and stuff.
Dude, the feedback has been overwhelmingly positive. You getting a lot of good feedback from the show.
Oh yeah.
Shout out, there's a lot going on there. Shout out to Radiate Church, man, for pipe and drape. That made the show look really, really good.
They piped us and draped us.
I think that's where it started. The good vibe of that show started with the setup of that pipe and drape. And then it was like, this is going to be good.
Yeah, because y'all set it up the night before.
We did.
Sent
another reason why we were tired.
And sent a picture.
Handbook, Mr. Exhausting over there.
I was putting it work.
I think Jonathan was more mentally fried than us. I think mentally fried would be a good word, but physically, bro, I was gassed. I felt like I don't know. I felt like I was in a 30-minute wrestling match.
I was mentally fried all day Sunday, completely.
It was one of those things that like I had to get up and do stuff that I have to do on Sundays, right? And physically, I felt like I'd gotten hit by a truck.
Mack truck.
Yes.
It was awful.
But you just keep pushing through, and
Yeah,
I'm at a goal of mine on Saturday, so I was good.
that's right. So
I'd set a goal to be below 300, and I was 298 weighing in
Nice.
Saturday morning.
sounds like our crowd size.
Yeah.
Hey, it's pretty
Pew,
close.
pew, pew.
It's pretty
That's
close.
pretty close.
Pretty dang close.
That's not counting talent and stuff.
Yeah, oh shoot. Well, in certain
400.
in certain companies' words, that's 800, fellas. We call that a Carolina 800.
But no, it was. So I was, nervous, anxious, excited, like all emotions kind of rolled into one from the moment probably when I got off work Friday, or not got off work. I was off Friday, like mid Friday, when I knew it was like starting to sink in, like, hey, tomorrow's go time. All the way until about 5. Well, so first off, like 2 to 5:30 got here. Like those 3 hours went by like super fast. Like I was like, oh, we got plenty of time, and then I was like, whoa, it's 5:30. We got to start getting ready.
Hey, but lunch was great, was it not?
Then the panic set in, and I was like, oh, here we go.
Where's my bag?
And then didn't stop until midnight, and then had an hour drive back home. And
Man, it just felt so good to be, as ownership, being in front of the guys and gals and being able to just do like this. Listen, nothing's changing. PCW, it's only going to get better, right? To be able to sell our vision to the locker room, of course, I thought was extremely important, on top of Sanson stealing our gummy bears.
Don't touch the canteen, guys. Concessions.
Stay the hell out of our concession stand, Sanson.
well, Elliot wasn't there when it was like we walk in.
I
and
was
Shane's like,
pissed.
Sanson's the only one in the locker room. Shane's like looking at him. Where'd you get those?
Oh, you with me?
Yeah.
You were with me. Oh, bro, I was hot. I was pissed.
Hey,
And then it got worse.
but
It got worse, Elliot. I don't even think I told you this.
The honey bun.
No.
Oh,
So something told but something told me to count the honey buns, and I saw one missing, and I went and I'm like, Sanson took the honey bun too. But I didn't blame him. I looked in the garbage can and I saw the crinkled up wrapper of the honey bun. I said, all right, okay, we're gonna take it.
What
Ethan,
if
I was like,
What if I told you it was me that had the honey bun?
it wasn't. You wouldn't have done that. But anyway,
I don't eat honey buns.
but to his credit,
Yep.
who?
to Sanson's
Oh,
credit,
I didn't get to finish this. I would talk
Well,
good about him. I was getting there, bro. It's a build, okay?
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
build.
You take a good long while to get to that build.
I gotta talk.
He's on WWE's.
I gotta get heat, baby. Gotta get that heat. We'll get it. But shout out to Sanson. He
made it right.
He made it right. $1 short, but he made it right.
You don't know.
He paid $4.
As they should have been.
There were so many good stories that came out of that night, man. Like, I'm still on a high from it. And I like if you look at, we're already promoting the next show. We're already selling tickets to the next show.
Yeah.
We're selling them fast. Like there's a buzz.
Speaking
It's
of,
real.
boom, PCW Faces of the Future, May 13th.
Man, that looks good.
You can get your tickets at pcw.ticketspice/Faces of the Future. I will throw that in the chat for you guys.
And I look at this flyer, man. So like, it's so crazy because like the stories that can be told just from this flyer that maybe necessarily weren't as thought about as much as we think about them now. But like you think about Fast and the Furious movies, think about family, right? Dom's the head of the family. You got Ethan in the middle is the head of the Palmetto Wrestling Academy. You got I would two big proteges of him with D'Angelo and Moody in his background, and then of course how fitting that the rest of the academy in front. So I mean, I just think it's so powerful. Like if people don't realize how powerful this flyer is unless you know. If you know, you know.
So go ahead.
I was just going to catch up on some comments real quick. We got Ron Emerson. What's up, y'all? Hey, Ron. Welcome to the show, man.
What's up, Ron?
Bud? Hey, Bud. Welcome to the show, brother.
Did I tell you I ran into him the other day?
Yeah, you did.
Yep.
Chris Baldwin, also known as the Legend of Solar. Huzzah! Welcome to the show, brother.
I love Chris. Sorry.
Steve the Sword.
Steve the Sword.
Hey, tell
He's got his
Steve.
own Facebook page.
Tell
You can
Steve
add
we
him.
said, hey,
You can add him yourself.
I'm following him.
Can I have one of those drinks?
Yeah, so we're getting there. Saw your roll, Wing Chun.
I'm like dying.
Billy, Billy Fox, you guys did great. Proud of you guys. Appreciate it, Billy. Recent PCW or recent PCW talent, PWA entrant or graduate, Erica
Are you
Demia.
all right?
I'm
You
getting there.
okay? Maybe you need one of those. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
I'm getting
you.
there. Erica Demia, Ayo.
Hey yo. So let's stop on Erica. So we got to see her in person, right? You got to see her debut for Palmetto Championship Wrestling. I got to see her debut at Title Belt, but is she not everything that she says she is? Like she is without a doubt.
She is a real life superhero.
Oh my gosh, man, she's a hero to kids. The kids are gonna love her. The gear is second to none. I think she has the best. I think she has one of the best gear on the indies that I've seen. She takes a lot of effort and credit into her, puts a lot of effort into her total character, total gimmick. And then I'm just watching her match, man. Like, you might not have been able to see it because you were sitting in the chair behind
Facial
her.
expressions.
Bro.
Yeah.
Like I was sitting looking where she was waiting for the tag and everything. And like, dude, like her ability to emotionally invest those that are watching into a match.
Well, so
Unbeatable. Unbelievable.
one of my buddies that I invited to the show, Glenn, he showed up. He left. He wasn't able to stay for the whole show, but when he was leaving, he stopped me and he was like, "Man," he was like, "Erica," he was like, "She's got it."
Bro.
I was, obviously we've talked about, like her whole presentation, and I didn't get to. I was at the door in concession, so I didn't really get to see much of the match, but that's kind of where I thought he was going, and I was like, "Oh yeah," I was like, "Her looks, everything's fantastic," and he was like, "Not just that," he was like, "Just the way she sells it, everything."
got it.
He was like, "It's just the star power."
I've
It's there.
said it on the show before, Eric. I'm not just saying it because you're listening, but I've said it on the show before. By the time she's 21, because she's 18, by the time she's 21, she will be signed. She will be signed by some major company, albeit it could be Ring of Honor, AEW, WWE, NXT, doesn't matter. Anything major on a national level, she'll be there. Mark it here.
Chris says, I was here first.
Oh, they're having a little father-daughter competition there.
Erica says, y'all are making me cry over here. Hey,
It's true.
Yeah, if we didn't believe it, we wouldn't say it. Before we continue, guys, shout out to Dante Carter.
Yes.
Comedian Dante Carter. He's also works for GNC. Got us some little treats.
Yes. I've been so excited.
I'm gonna let you guys pick, and I'll take
I hope you get the worst one.
We got cherry slush, we got watermelon wave, and we got juicy peach.
Can I choose?
Well, you can choose because I've already had one of them. But that would be the one I would choose just because I know it's really good. But I'll let you pick.
Can I choose cherry slush?
That's the one I've had. It's
Yes!
fantastic.
I can tell you, the blue slush is really good. So that's probably pretty good too.
Of course, the can breaks, bro.
A walking disaster.
Dante, dude, I'm so epic pissed.
How does that happen?
Dante set me up, dude. This is not even funny. Like, how do you can't even write this?
Set you up. He didn't know you were gonna pick cherry slush.
He might have.
How?
How would he not? I don't know. This is not
He didn't
funny.
even give them to you.
I hope he's watching. Dude, I can't even. I'm pissed.
Dude, you got a can opener downstairs.
Oh, I'm just gonna leave the show and go downstairs and get a can opener.
Won't be the first time. Get the can.
Does the can opener work?
Well,
Better than the first one. That's a PCW problem. And Erica knows this firsthand. Can openers never work. Ever. At the shows.
It's
Well,
probably
that
because
was-
you try and use these small can openers on these giant big old buckets of peanuts.
Yours didn't work, sir. What do you mean me?
I
Yours
said,
didn't work.
I said small can openers. That's what I said.
Oh, well, it's a common. I'm so freaking pissed.
You're gonna cut your hand.
I am not. Open yours.
Well, I'm letting Elliot pick.
No, you
which
go ahead.
one.
You pick.
If I swear to God, if I cut my hand on this show. F.
Get the pen.
Give me the pen. Can openers on. Oh, guys, look. Wow.
Just look at that. Just look at
Better be
it.
careful.
That looks like a disaster. Wait,
Okay.
you're gonna slice your lip like you did the night you made that drink. Oh, I thought it was a drink stir, and it was a
Ooh.
knife, and I sliced
Bro,
sliced my whole upper lip.
did we tell that
Sucked it
story?
like a straw.
That was awful. I couldn't believe I did that. It was so bad, and that cut hurt so bad.
Elliot can't really have this one because this has got sugar in it. But if you want to try it, Shane.
So, Chris, I am a big fan of Ghost. I think that's one of my favorite, probably energy. Like, it's the truest to taste. I think Ghost. All the flavors they have.
Cheryl says, Erica, my daughter loves your look. Chris says, Erica's favorite energy drink is Alani News. Well, all these Alani New.
All
Chris,
of them.
we've got Juicy Peach tonight,
Cherry
Cherry
slush.
Slush, and Watermelon Wave.
So, shout out to Erica because these are good.
Erica says, really odd. Cheryl, yes, and the answer and respond to Shane's comment as well. I like Ghosts also.
Glad y'all's opened well. Bunch of jerks. Choke on it.
Mine's pretty good. I don't really get
Dude,
a
that's
whole lot of watermelon, but
I'm not normally a big peach fan, but that's really good.
Peaches,
like
peaches, peaches, peaches.
Peaches.
Perfect timing. That's a whole nother conversation. Oh man.
but real quick, going back to the flyer, you were talking about the flyer and so many stories
Yeah.
being told. So when we got the flyer, one little detail is we I think Elliot kind of called it out, but it was like it wasn't something we asked for, but the backdrop at the top of the X is the like overhead shot of City of Camden, which was a really, really nice touch.
Amazing. And I will take this time to shout out our graphic designer for Palmetto Championship Wrestling is Brad Joyner. If you don't know who Brad Joyner is, well, you do now. He was with PCW for.
If you don't know, now you know.
If you don't know, now you know. You know. Radio edit. But Brad Joyner is fantastic. He's done a lot of big time work for a lot of big time companies. WWE and I want to say maybe Nike or Hewlett Packard, a couple of other companies, and to be able to have him, he actually originally came through the Palmetto Wrestling Academy as a trainer. Remember, Elliot? Jack Bismarck. Yeah, Jack Bismarck
With the club.
and he was fantastic, bro. And he ended up leaving the business, but staying in the business via a passion of his. And I think we're just super fortunate to have somebody of his quality back in the reins of the graphics of PCW because they really set us apart quickly. They put us on the map again quickly. So he's responsible for some of the best graphics in PCW history with like Emergence and Game Over and all. That was that Avengers Endgame parody flyer, and now bringing them. What are you doing? And now bringing them back into the PCW fold. Starting with Super Smash Brawl, and then now the Faces of the Future. I think it's fantastic. What are you doing? You're ruining my moment. But I will say, shout out to Dante for introducing me to that song. Elliot, I am trying to talk here.
Oh, okay. You're so good, though.
Okay, pause this. But shout out to Dante for introducing us to that because that's fantastic. I mean, Jack Black is on a whole nother level. So I haven't seen the movie yet.
I haven't either.
It's really good.
But it is breaking records.
It's
Big time.
didn't it just cross like the 800 million mark?
7, 8, something like that.
Oh my lord!
Bro, what are you doing?
Elliot, please. But yeah. So it's just I'm ecstatic to have Brad Joyner back.
Yes.
Something that was something we needed to do. It's funny because I think when we took the company back from Henry, I think we all collectively agreed there were some things that we saw on the outside looking in, things we needed to change, right? Immediately. Without it even question, didn't matter what it took, we needed to change them. I think graphics was right up there with number one. Be able to bring back stuff like this, man. I mean, it makes you emotional because
Well,
this is quality.
Well, and the fine detail. I mean, you got the Camden Clock Tower right there in the back behind Moody, the water tower that's across town behind D'Angelo. Fine detail.
And
I told you guys, so I mean, obviously it's based off the the Fast 10 poster. That's where
What's that?
The style.
What's that?
Fast 10. But I was on Facebook, and in my reels, it had had Paul Walker's Facebook account share the actual Fast and Furious page, but at quick glance, I thought it was I was like, who's sharing the Faces of the Future thing? And then I was like, wait, that's the wrong. I was like, oh, that's the actual poster. Okay.
Then it's just exciting, man, and so that was one of the big things we were focused on, and then I think we're focused on partnering with local businesses. That's been a big focus of ours. So shout out to Northeast Well for sponsoring, actually presenting this whole show. It's because of them we're able to do this show. But other companies like Steeplechase and Gainey's Lube and all these other local companies that are just willing to be a part of our vision. Kind of share our vision of bringing something of quality to a county that needs it desperately.
And let's not forget to mention Kershaw County Rec.
Oh man, and they were ecstatic, bro.
Speaking of Jeremy Murphy, Flyers most definitely fire. Jeremy, hey, first of all, it was great to see you at the show. I spoke to Shane Duncan, and he was talking about how he heard nothing but good things. So we appreciate Kershaw County Rec's support.
Jeremy and Megan were there.
Yep.
And Megan expressed today that she had an amazing time and can't wait for the next one. So it's just, there's a lot of things that go into this, man. And, just the support of the local community. I mean, almost 300 people in the crowd, I think, for a first show back, for being gone for 5 months under new ownership, not knowing what to expect.
Well,
right?
and not to mention, we were just here back in November.
Right. And we didn't have that.
Correct.
It's just testament, man. Now we worked our butts off. We worked our butts off in the county, boots on the ground kind of thing. But I mean, there's just so many things and not enough things that can go out to express our gratitude. There's so many other people that I'm definitely forgetting. Shout out to Jake and Josh,
not from State Farmer.
Jake, not from State Farmer, manager at Steeplechase, and Josh Williamson, who literally passed out probably 300 flyers hours before the show. So man, there's just so many things. Ethan Case, the Palmetto Wrestling Academy, all the talent, fans, sponsors. I mean, you guys, our wives, our families,
and fans who have even said, "Hey, when you get these flyers or whatever to pass out, let me know, because I'll set them up at my business, or I'll set them up. I'll take them to work with me, and I can just throw them in a customer's bag." It's
yeah. Oops, how'd that get in there?
I spoke with one of our fans on Sunday, and they said, "Hey, when you get them, let me know. I'd love to take some to work, and hand them out to customers as we work on their cars and stuff."
Yeah, and then what else we do? Huge upgrades in the marketing side of things as far as merch, PCW merch. You're wearing the hat, you're wearing the shirt. So we had new hats, new shirts.
There's been a lot of compliments on that shirt, by the way.
The Super Smash Brawl shirt was fire. Yeah, just a lot of different things, man. A lot of different changes we made quickly, and I kind of short notice.
So I'll say, so one thing you kind of always told me, or you and Ethan both, you were like, the best fans are ones that aren't wrestling fans. That's the ones that are going to come back. And I was like, I've always been a diehard wrestling fan ever since I was, a baby, essentially. So it just was one of the things I couldn't really believe, or not believe. I believed you, but just didn't.
Hard to
grasp until I saw it myself. But yeah, I had a bunch of people show up to the show just to support me, not that they could care less about wrestling. I mean, friends, family, things like that. But every single one of them, within we put the tickets on sale. Like they, got front row, and then they were like, "Oh, we can't wait to come back." Every single person that I've talked to that was there, wrestling fan or not, had a blast and have already got tickets to come back.
Makes you emotional, man, because
so-
that's what it's about, right? You just there's not enough. I don't know what the words. I can't think of the words, man. But there's just something about that non-wrestling fan, especially when there's kids involved.
Even my wife, so she's not a wrestling fan at all. And
Definitely
she was
not.
like, as much as I've talked about it, pictures and everything, like I think in her mind, she envisioned one thing, and then when she got there, it was completely different than what she thought.
So I think a lot of that's like, so you have your wrestling fans, but then you have your PCW fans, right? Like I don't necessarily think a PCW fan it has to be a wrestling fan. I don't.
I get that.
There's just something about it. The camaraderie, the constant engagement.
Being a wrestling fan is you're just a fan, but being a PCW fan is an investment
for sure. With money, with emotion. I mean, you're.
I mean, you can. I mean, physically have a conversation with the talent. That goes.
Bless you.
I think that could be said for most independent wrestling promotions that are properly ran.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Got good writing, got good producing, got good ownership, got a good product.
And there, man, I missed that whole shaking hands, kissing babies thing I used to do. Man, that felt good. Like I would like being out there, like I literally did you ever see like at the height how long that line was outside? Did you ever get to see that?
No. I mean, I saw in the video. I saw
that was half.
But
that video I took,
even in the video, oh no, the recap video, I saw where the line was out. But
that was
even
half.
then, I was like, I mean, like I couldn't see that inside. I was the one running the door, so I know it seemed like it took forever for the line to die down, which is a good thing. I mean,
so I literally that line went straight out to the door, from the door to the grass line, across the parking, and then 90'd and went halfway down that way. I was like, oh my God. Like when I saw that, I'm getting chills now thinking about it. But I literally went down the line, introduced myself to everybody, shook their hands, said hello to all the kids. I went back to go inside, and I pulled the door open, and I got stuck there for 45 minutes in the heat, holding the door for people, because it just didn't feel right to not, right? But, so yeah, that's where I was until about 10 minutes before bell time.
Jeremy Murphy says, awesome shows, especially for my first PCW event. Got me hooked for life in my Hulk Hogan voice. For life, dude. Very nice.
Impeccable timing. You were waiting for that, weren't you?
I was. I saw the comment. I saw the comment, so I had to already had it on my phone.
I thought the parking went better than I anticipated.
I had no complaints. I heard no complaints about parking. Did you?
One, but it was I guess a good problem to have. They just said that she was like, "Oh, we had to park like way down there."
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So I was like,
"Get here sooner. Get the VIP pass."
There you go.
Well,
that's a fix.
But I think that's where we can look at some things. Use it, that front area. Maybe using it for handicap or elderly.
Yeah, for sure. I don't really have much bad to say. I mean, are there things that could have been done better? That could be tweaked a little bit, yeah, of course, right? But really, nothing for me to complain about. I think for the first show, that kind of sets the floor, right? We set the floor at 280. Now that's our floor. We don't want to go backwards.
560. Come on.
Yeah. Well, guys, we're moving on. No, I'm just kidding. But I don't care how many. We're there for at least a year, so I don't care if it's 200, 500, 800. We're gonna fit them in there, one way or another. And yeah, so good. But yeah, face to the future.
Faces of the future.
Faces to the future. Faces of the future.
Back to the future, guys.
We had a show like that one time. Back for more. Remember that after
Yep.
COVID show?
Yep.
That was Dave Foster. Oh, hi, Mr. Goldberg. I'm next.
Yeah. But so what was probably your favorite match of the night? there.
Favorite match of the night? Man, I really love Sigmund and Elliott. They're on a whole other level.
Four-time NWA tag team champion, by the way.
They make you say that?
Yeah.
I was like, that sounds like a Sigmund line.
Yeah.
Did they make you say that? Or is it Elliott?
No, it was Sigmund.
Yeah, for sure.
When I was just getting their information, they said, say 4-time NWA tag team champion. I was like, all right, yeah.
I saw Sigmund. I was like, man, Sigmund, man, your chest hair's on fire, bro. It looks good. He's like, yeah. But did you get a chance to talk to Elliott yet?
Oh, he's super country. Yeah. Elliott Russell. Knoxville, Tennessee.
Hey, Elliott, how you doing? Real good, bud. How you doing? Well, that sounds like something off a cartoon, but no, it wasn't that bad. But it's
Tell you what,
it definitely had some Jeff Tucker in him. That's for sure. But Jonathan, what was your favorite part of the show?
Favorite part of the show or favorite match?
Jonathan, before we went on there, Jonathan was like, "Yeah,
showtime."
Got to see like 2 minutes of the show. So in that 2 minutes was what you see?
I was gonna say favorite match or favorite moment. So favorite match.
Learning already. I like it. What's your favorite moment?
Well, I mean, personally, it would be the opening to the show, just because that was the first time being in the ring and stuff. But there's a story behind that too. I kind of got thrown in the fire unintentionally.
We all,
but
I was like, "What's this?"
Well, you're already out there. It's not that bad.
No, but it was like going into it. I kind of had it like we kind of knew we were gonna probably be in the ring to open the show.
Sure.
I probably should have spent a little bit more time thinking about what I was gonna say, or just being a little bit more prepared. But like, maybe an hour before, it was like, hey, like you guys are going on first. We'll have you go out there, whatever. And then like I'm talking to Shane before we're going through the curtain. I was like, what are we doing? I was like, then I started thinking, I was like, I've never even gotten in the ring like at all through all the shows I've been to, nothing. I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I was like, this is gonna be fantastic. And so
wipe your feet.
We open the curtain. Shane goes one way, I go the other way. I'm like, Shane's like, just get him hype. I'll go like around the ring. I'm like giving everybody a high five, and I get like 2/3 of the way, and I look around. I'm like, I haven't passed Shane yet. Where's he at? And like I look up, Shane's already in the ring. What are you doing? I was like,
I said that to him. Like, I was just joking with him though. Like what are you doing? He's
Winburn, get in the ring. And I'm like, okay. And so then I go to roll in the ring. My foot does get stuck on the rope. Trevor saw that from like the entrance. He was like, your foot got stuck on the rope. And I'm like, well, I should have practiced getting in. I had no idea what I was doing.
No, man, that could I don't know. That could be your thing.
But
so Dave Foster kind of got his way in because he's a goof.
Well, that was kind of like, I guess maybe what like similar. Like I know he would roll in the ring. I did it the opposite way. Like he, but it was what it was. But then we got in the ring, and then I was like, all right. Like, where do I stand? What am I doing? I don't know. And then
the car drove good.
And so then Shane says his thing. Elliott kind of says something. And then like Elliott's like hands me the mic, and I was like, I have no idea what I'm going to say. And then,
hey, Jonathan, just say the first thing that comes to your mind.
I told Elliott, I was like, my first thought was to do like the sting, growl, woo, whatever you want to call it. But my throat was so dry from talking to everybody at the door that I was like, oh, that was going to be a disaster because nothing is going to come out when I do it.
Woo!
So then I just yelled, it's showtime. But as soon as I did it, Shane was looking across from me, and I was like, I could see Shane trying to fight back from laughing.
He's a Sting fan, guys. It's all right.
He does this. He says,
yeah, I turn my mouth.
but
and then the jerk, me and Ethan, we go to leave, hold the rope open for him, and he rolls out of the
all right. So here's the story behind that. Because I told Danielle, and she was like, you got to talk about that on the podcast. So I wasn't like, so many thoughts were running through my head, but I stopped and saw you and Ethan both hold the ropes up, and it just reminded me of like the guys holding the ropes up for the female to get out the ring, and I was like, they are not doing this to me on my first show. And so I was like, I don't know what to do, so I just dropped down and then like dropped down and rolled out the ring.
Bro, the funny part is, I'll never forget it. He's rolling out like a turtle on his shell. Like he's rolling out, but we made eye contact while he was rolling out of the ring. I'm like, you can't write this, bro.
And then Ethan asked me afterwards. He was like, "You all right?" I was like, "Yeah, why?" And he was like, "That had to hurt." I was like, "Honestly, I didn't feel a thing." He was like, "You landed on the hardest part of the ring," and I was like, "I promise you, I didn't feel a thing." Like but I landed, rolled out, and went straight to the back. And then I turned around, and Shane and Ethan are still outside of ringside hugging Moody, and I'm like, "Well, I can't go back out now."
Oh my gosh!
I thought you landed straight on your keys, and I'm thinking, "Oh my gosh, that hurts."
Oh, he's pouring blood.
I might have, but I still didn't feel a thing.
Well, that's usually how it goes. The adrenaline.
But that was my thought. Well, you and Ethan held the ropes, and I was like, I was like, nah, they're not getting me like this.
We were big timing them, dude. It's crazy, man. That the adrenaline in your soul.
So do you remember when we did the Lost in New York, the Home Alone thing?
Live in Lexington.
Live in Lexington, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the first time that Drew Hood was like, hold the rope for me. So I said, okay. And I stepped on the bottom and pulled the middle. And he looked at me and said, really?
You jerk.
But outside of that, because I didn't really get to see a lot of the show, because I was just trying to make sure everything, with it being our show, I wanted to make sure everything kind of ran smoothly. Seeing everybody's reaction when Big Game came out, because I don't think nobody knew what to do. I mean, like they hadn't seen. I mean, he wasn't. There was no advertisement, no nothing, so nobody knew. I mean, shout out to Billy. I was standing right beside Billy, and Billy looked at me and was like, eyes real big. Who is that?
I can hear him saying that. What's funny is, man, so that was my favorite moment of the show. That one has a lot of emotional ties to me just because, like, we go back.
And he is jacked.
2016, and he looks better now
than
he did then, and he was big then. But he's I think he's lost a little weight. I think
he's leaner. Yeah,
he looks great. And so I'm sitting in the crowd, and there was 3 people that I didn't tell them what was happening. I just said 3 people that are OGs. I said, you're gonna want to stick around for the end, And they're like, what? I'm like, just
Did
trust
you see
me.
Billy Bates?
Yes, he was one of them. He's one of the 3. And I said, you're just gonna want to see the end. Trust me. And their reaction was like, I was sitting second row behind the Herds, Sherry and Derek. And I said, you ready? And it happened. And they were like, what? And where is he? We haven't seen him in 6 years, 5 or 6 years. He hasn't been with us. And just to have him back,
bro,
he's such an awesome guy.
Can we talk about the lift he got on that choke slam with Matt? First, when he first walks in, I'm thinking,
I wish we can get.
He's just going to power. But what are we doing here? And he hand the threat. I'm like, oh, he's doing that. Oh, he's going there,
dude. And
straight up.
And I watched that choke slam. I watched Josh take that choke slam back in footage, and bro, there was no recoil. It was like that was it. I was like,
like a swatted bug.
I was like, oh god. And then of course, I was like, you're pulling back the curtain a little bit in the back. I was like, hey Tyrell, you gonna rip your shirt off? You got a little rip in your shirt, right? And he's like, oh brother, I'm taking this thing off. You wait and see what I'm gonna do. Sure enough, he took that thing off. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, good for you, bro. Look like $1 million. And dude, I mean,
pet popping,
bro. Of course, you got to throw that in there. I said, I could do that. I could do that too, Tyrell. I started, but shout out to the work he's doing, dude, in like Turbo, because that's what ended up getting him back here. It was noticed and it was seen about things he was doing and the stories he was telling and who he was working with in Turbo in the Upstate, and they brought him home full circle. So it's amazing how things work out. So
catching up real
awesome.
Quick.
Chris, we got a lot to catch up
on. Chris Baldwin, huzzah! Legend of Solar. Back from what was the first show myself and Erica went to when she first started training with Ethan.
So do you remember that was the one with Dave and that stupid pillow? It died. Like he dropped it from the
It was.
Yes. He's like, oh Hank,
Hank the unicorn.
And he was dead. Like, but yeah, moments. I think if Jonathan never saw that, he wouldn't have come back.
Florida Man and Sanson versus Heat Seekers was fire. Listen, whenever. All right,
Florida Maniacs.
Well, the FMO, Florida Man Order.
Well, the shirt said Florida Maniacs.
Yeah, I think the Florida Man Order was.
Well, I can go ahead and tell you, they're called the Florida Man Order per Florida Man.
Well, I can tell you per Sanson's shirt,
There
there
wasn't-
Florida Maniacs.
There wasn't an S on it. Florida Maniac.
Yeah, whatever. It says Florida Maniacs.
No S.
I'm adding an S.
No S.
Go back to the footage. Shout out to Keith Andrews for returning to PCW on videography.
Yep.
Fantastic job.
If you have not seen all the videos and more to come, he's done an amazing job capturing all these moments. But go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say that moment that that falsy with Florida Man.
On the crossbody?
Well, the tornado DDT.
Oh, yeah.
I
That was fire.
So I did not get to see that match, but watching the highlight video,
Made Florida Man look like $1 million.
but my favorite part of that match was Florida Man doing the Undertaker thing, but doing like the strut walk while holding Sam, but then doing the leg drop. I mean, he did like Hogan's leg drop from the top rope. I was like, oh, that's money.
So I had an epiphany in the crowd. I was watching that match with somebody. I said, you know who Florida Man reminds me of? He's a modern day Spike Dudley. I mean, like stature, taking the heat. I mean, that's what he does, right? Takes the beating. He gets a lot of cool moments.
Not to mention, he and I were wearing the exact same shirt.
Impeccable, wasn't that?
What are the odds?
Impeccable. You all playing that?
No.
But
Yeah, they did.
yeah. But it was amazing. All four guys in that match are on a whole nother level.
Yeah, I mean, Sanson's been on AEW a couple times.
Yep.
So testament to him and his work. Billy says D'Angelo match was fire. Man, good to see him.
Got to meet his family, his mama, and I'm not gonna lie, guys. I haven't told you this, but I may have showed her the next show's flyer outside. You know, I was like, "Hey, mama," I was like, "Gotta show you something." She said, "She's very proud of her son." I knew it would make her happy. I was like, "Nobody's seen this, okay?"
We debuted it that night.
This was before the show.
Intermission.
I was outside greeting.
Gotcha.
And I was like, "Here, take a look at this." And she turned and she looked at it and she knew exactly what it was, like the parody and everything. She started crying. That made it all the worth it. I said, "We're proud of your son, and I just want to let you know that he is, without a doubt, on a whole nother level, and he's in the right hands with his training and where he's working." But
And genuinely a great dude.
Man.
Amazing individual.
I can't.
He does the best Tyrell impression, by the way. Next time you see him, say, "Hey man, do Big Game James. Do Big Game James." Hey man, you know. What were you
Are
saying?
we allowed to call Big BG James?
You know, no. B.I.G. James.
Biggie James.
B.I.
Big James.
Big James.
Hey, Big James.
Big Game James.
Um,
Yeah, he's an amazing kid, man.
Cheryl says Rudy versus she meant Mad Dog. Was her favorite match, but only because of the special surprise that dude was big. She then says,
Yeah.
the reason the reason Billy was like, "Oh my gosh, he's huge," was because the dude's bigger than Billy.
Yeah, he's a monster, man. And it gets worse is when he throws boots. When he throws like
Big boots.
Yeah. Wait till you see him in the ring. He's a very talented big guy for sure.
That Rudy Mad Dog match was good. It's a good match.
It really was, man. And you know, it's nothing against Moody or Mad Dog, 'cause I love them both. But I mean, that's a big deal to go to main event to the first PCW show back, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of pressure on both of them, and they delivered. They truly delivered. Both delivered in their own right. And I think the culmination of the match and the finish with it, I think the storytelling with it, Rudy retaining, I think there's a lot of things to be told. I think they did everything they needed to do.
Well, and also, you know, we like to start stuff off hot. And opening match was Moody.
Yes.
And returning Drew Hood, DH and HD.
Fantastic.
Dang it, Cheryl. She got you confused.
The sports entertainment prince, the prince of sports entertainment, as he calls himself. Man, he looks great. He's working his look and stuff. And heck, Moody was sporting a beard, looking like Wolverine. And
I told him that. I pulled him aside in the back. I said, "Yo, your beard game is on fire." And
I told him the same
it does
thing.
something for your look. It does something for everything. Like, I don't know if it's like I take you more seriously now, but he's young. He's 19, 20.
Yeah, I mean, he's at Newberry. He's in college.
Yeah. So I was like, all right. So now it makes him look seasoned, that kind of grizzled look. And okay, Chris, I'm gonna have to ask him about that. Can we get him to call in? Hey, but
Hey, D'Angelo.
hey, Chris, you should have him call in. Is there a way he can call in?
Yeah, I can send him a link.
Yeah, Chris, text him. But yeah, I would love to get him on the air. That'd be great. But what was I saying? I get sidetracked. Oh yeah, that grizzled, that kind of mean, tough, experienced look. I think does a lot for him. And you know what else? So how long has he been without the shoulder straps?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Like, he didn't have the strap. They were tight, like tights, right?
Well, he always what he normally does, he normally wears his tights, and the quote unquote shoulder straps is just a separate tank top or whatever.
Yeah,
That's weird.
it was a little different. I liked it. I do like the kind of straps up, kind of stick, but I thought it was absolutely fantastic. And dang it, Cheryl. Just keep reading that. What else? What else stuck out?
We had
how about that prick James Johnson?
Yeah, I was gonna say
a prick.
Stealing our moment.
Yeah. Sorry for my language, but that pissed me off there in the beginning with getting in my face a little bit, but that's all right. I'll let that slide.
Tie-dye sunset.
We'll let that slide. But him and Drew Hood and Selena Rose.
Yep.
Yeah, how about them?
They're a thing now.
That's cute.
What? Cheryl says, Night Maid is not a popcast without dang it, Cheryl. Chris Baldwin says, heathen.
Yeah. And how dare
Scraps go with the babyface Moody, but he's lumberjack Moody now. LOL.
Facts.
James Johnson is a bottom dweller. James Johnson, I'll let that slide. Ha ha ha.
There he is.
Lurking.
He
ain't said nothing the whole podcast.
Trolling. He's trolling.
Welcome to the show, James Johnson.
Who invited him? But who popped Chris in the face?
Who popped him in the face?
Yeah. Selena?
Was it Selena? Hey, James, let us know which one of you popped.
No, don't ask him.
Why not? It's tie-dye sunrise.
No, he's not. He's no sunrise no more.
He is the Palmetto Classic.
Classic what?
That's what his shirt says. Oh, it was me. That's what he said.
You read that?
He definitely read it like it was time.
You read, no, he read that in the Jim Carrey. It was me.
Yeah.
I hate James.
James Carrey?
No. Speaking of which, Grinch 2, I'm excited about that. That's a whole other conversation. But yeah, how dare you, freaking James? Sad. I hope he comes out in black tank top and long tights and calls himself the Lone Wolf. And we're gonna put
with a table.
We're gonna
with
get
wolf
a table,
painted on it.
And we're gonna write the word wolf on it.
Wear
spray paint, and we're gonna put him through it. That exact table.
Wear a red bandana.
He wore a black one most of the time. It was the black and white one, but
Chris Baldwin says James Johnson is a nasty hobbit.
He really is.
I mean, that seems to be the thing now.
Somebody call him a bottom dweller.
Wearing a black trench coat, all black cowboy
with a cowboy hat.
That's a Brock Lesnar thing. Not only did he beat the Undertaker, but he stole his stuff too.
It was originally a Jeff Jarrett thing.
Cowboy Taker.
You are such.
So let's talk about Jeff Jarrett, since you're like a big enthusiast on his podcast now.
Oh, well, hang on. Is there any other highlights you got to take from PCW Super Smash Brawl?
Well, let's see.
Yeah, Jarrett can wait.
We talked about Oh, Lasher, Paul Lasher, turning heel, turning on Moody and Eric
Erica.
Academia in their match against Drew Hood, Selena Rose, and James Johnson.
Another prick.
The number one dad.
Number one. Not my dad. Man, I tell you what is James talking about?
Hey, Shane, remember that time you told me I rotated cuff 2 weeks before that PC dub show?
You got to learn to rotate, cuz. You didn't rotate good. I remember. How can I forget? The Tex Bumble show.
Apparently, Solar got knocked out by a nasty hobbit. Probably shouldn't brag about that. Chris Baldwin says, not that guy, too.
James and I have a lot of stories, though, man. A lot of stories. A lot of good stories. But anyway. So, yeah. Lasher.
Oh, you know what?
His name rhymes with the previous.
The one thing we haven't talked about is Donnie Ray. No, we talked about Donnie Ray versus D'Angelo. We talked about that.
Yeah.
D'Angelo with the win. Mad Dog versus Rudy J.
We more talked about D'Angelo. We didn't really talk about Donnie.
He's fantastic.
Gets good heat.
Yeah, it's his hair.
I say there's something that just like as soon as he walks out, I'm like, ugh.
I do like some of the times like he comes out, he'll just be like, he just make this like random noise, and like it's hilarious. I think I hate him because he has so much hair. That's what it is.
Chris says I wasn't knocked out. My jaw just hurt a little afterwards. Yeah, but
still got up though, Chris. That's all that matters.
Yeah, to your point though, yeah. I mean,
his hair is beautiful. I'm like, God, that must be nice.
Yeah, he walks out and just like you said, that's
all he does.
People's like, boo.
I hate you.
How about the boo hood chants?
Awesome. The crowd was nice, man.
So you want to hear? So Ellery asked me this. She said, "Daddy, why were they calling that man Booty?" I said, "What?" She said, "They were saying booty, booty." I said, "No, babe. They were saying Moody and Boo Hood." Wasn't saying booty.
Kids say the darndest things.
Yes. But yeah, so to recap, you had Drew Hood, Moody. Moody wins by way of DQ with interference from Tie-Dye Sunrise and Selena.
Ugh.
You then had match 2 of the night, which was
go ahead. I was
Heat Seekers.
Thinking about something else.
Heat Seekers in Florida Man Order. Heat Seekers with the win. Good solid match. Really good match. Everyone just looked amazing. Match 3 of the night before we went to intermission was the D'Angelo Donnie rematch. D'Angelo with the win. Nice looking spear to wrap it up to get the win. Then you had 6-man tag team match coming back from intermission with Eric Academia, Paul Lasher, and Moody versus Tie-Dye Sunrise, Selena Rose, and Drew Hood. Lasher with the stunning Eric Academia. That's who he stunned, right? Yeah. Paul Lasher with the stunner on Eric Academia, and James Johnson with the pinfall to get the victory for his team. And goes into Rudy J versus Mad Dog for a PCW City Championship match. Rudy J with the win. Referee Jay Diggs gets knocked out.
Shout out to Jay Diggs for working Iron Man.
Yes.
Bro.
Yeah. Jay Diggs killing as referee that night. All 5 matches. Did an amazing job. He gets knocked out by a Mad Dog Lariat. Big Gaten James comes out. Choke slam, F5 to Mad Dog. Rudy pulls Rudy J on for the cover. Wakes up Jay Diggs. Jay Diggs with a 1-2-3. Rudy J with the win. So that wraps up PCW Super Smash Brawl.
I do have to apologize to your son, though. I don't know if you saw. So when I came out and I was going around the guardrails, high-fiving everybody, I got to Asher, and he was like the only kid that I recognized in the front row. And I just was like, went to high-five and stopped and was like, thumbs down. And he was like, what?
spe- that's a kid who just all night long stood right there yelling his lungs out.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't want to go home. Like wanted to stay and ride with me and Shane to do everything, lock up everything, and I made him go home with my wife and stuff. And
It was super late, bro.
yeah,
Super early. I mean,
but he'll stay, man. That kid, I love that kid. He'll sit there and stay with me as long as I'll let him, for sure.
but I think it's become a new thing for us on show day to have our pre-show meeting with ownership over food.
Oh yeah.
So steeplechase next show.
I'm down.
Steeplechase. Gotta support the chase.
I'm down.
I'm down. I'm off on Saturdays from here on out.
Oh, F you, Jeff.
Have y'all seen Superstore? The show?
No, I watched like 1 or 2 episodes because I was told I needed to watch it, but I just hadn't had time to.
Yeah.
Chris, you made Chris crack over booty.
Doug. Booty.
Leave it to the kids, man.
Doug says Doug. So there's a guy named Doug on that show.
Of course.
Who's Cheyenne's baby daddy, husband, something like that. But he's supposed to be this to himself, he's an up and coming hip hop artist, and every time he intros himself, then he says, wah, wah, wah. Oh, anyways.
My favorite line. What if he's been murdered by crystal meth tweakers? And we're just trying to look. I watch that movie all the time now. I'm such a loser.
So what else?
Oh man, just testament beginning to end.
Shout out to the fans who took advantage of that promo code at the show. Shout out to them.
Yeah, like half a front row sold that night for the next show. Ethan was like, "What the F? I've never seen this before." Like, and here's the thing, like another thing, just speaking to things we changed with, or that we had to change with PCW when we took it, is we tweaked pricing a little bit, right? We had to. There's just nothing we could have done. We tweaked it a little bit and try to keep it as low as possible. And so that was an unknown variable. Like we didn't know how the response was going to be, if people were going to tell us to F off, or they would keep investing. And sold out of front row for this past show, and then half of front row sold for the next show on the first night. So it's crazy the momentum. Yeah.
Shane calls me. I'm like, what's wrong?
It's a good sound, Elliot. It's a good sound. Like it's just crazy and the thing is, if you're not familiar with Kershaw County, like it's a county where when something takes fire,
yep,
like it's gonna be scary. It's gonna spread fast. And the thing is, we've been in Kershaw County before. We've been in Elgin, been in Camden.
This is different though.
It is different because we're permanently here.
Yeah, this ain't a. It's not
a one-off.
Yeah,
and I think that's what people are.
I was gonna say stop and pop, but
I like that word, stop and pop. But it's not a pop-up show or sporadic show. It's every month. The crowd liked that. They responded well to that. We're here every month because this is home. They like that inspiration from The Rock in that promo. But I'm excited, man. Like I just don't know what to expect, right? I think that's the best part, just not knowing what's to come. But it's exciting. It's exciting for sure.
Anything else?
What else, Jonathan?
Nah, I mean, like I said,
you're the one I was looking most forward to hearing about it.
I'm still.
Me and Elliot have been involved with it for a while.
Still processing a lot of it. But no, I mean the overall, I mean, I was happy with the setup.
Yes.
To me, looked fantastic. I mean, it exceeded any of my expectations that I had.
There were a lot of compliments with the giant PCW banner right there in the doorway.
A lot.
And that
was something so small.
But it wasn't. I mean, it was something so small, but something that wasn't done until
no, because
right
last
before,
minute.
right before the show. It was like, hey, like we're thinking about doing this, but it visually, like you walk in the arena.
Yes, sir.
All you see, like you're in the lobby and you look through the doors, all you see is the giant PCW logo. You can't see the ring. All you can hear is the sound, and you just see the logo. And then you have to walk around it.
Loved
to
it.
see everything. And then it just opens up. It was fantastic.
And it also gave fans the opportunity to take a picture.
You know,
Look at that. We got
who's here?
love it that y'all are in KC.
Yes.
Stephanie Moke Belton. That was a great show. I've never been, and I can't wait to come back.
Absolutely. See, that's what I'm talking about. Non-wrestling fans, they get there. They're still not wrestling fans. They don't leave wrestling
She
fans.
didn't say she wasn't a wrestling fan.
No, I'm telling you. I know who that is. Non-wrestling fan comes to the show, leaves a non-wrestling fan, but she leaves a PCW fan.
Hey, Stephanie,
Game changer.
Stephanie, do me a favor and see if you can bring Moke with you, or if I have to, I'll talk to Victoria.
I think just talking on the air about the next show and what we could do to kind of tweak things. I think we change. How we had the concession or the ticketing right there when you walk in, move that into the gym, to the front part of the gym. That way, it allows more people to get in. Just small things I think of can make the customer experience a little better. But it was hot too. It was surprisingly hot outside.
Move it just right in front of move the banner back. Move it right in front of the banner.
Yeah, and then allows more people to flood in that foyer a little bit. Just small things.
Maybe. I don't know. I think if you move the visual back a little bit, it takes away, because it pretty much was where it was the exact same size as from a visual. As soon as you walk in the lobby, it was like the exact same size as the doorway, and the line moved pretty quick. I mean, it didn't really seem like it's.
Well, a lot of people got there early,
but yeah.
And like a couple people were like, "You mean a VIP ticket could have gotten me in?" I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Well, we'll be getting that next time." So,
and I think having the ticketing thing too close to the PCW logo, because we kind of thought we might have some more plans.
Yeah.
To use it a little bit. I think if you put it too close, then you start getting a little too crowded right there. So
it may very well maybe. Just some takeaways, but yeah, I mean, me looking at it like from a fan's eyes, I was like, yeah, I could pay a little bit extra to get in these doors a half hour early. I'm gonna do that. I would do that.
And one thing we talked
forget the shirt and everything else you get with it, just the early admission.
One thing we talked about also doing is we've kind of tossed around already is for front rows, going in and getting them. Front row person walks in, their name's on the chair.
Yep, we're gonna do assigned seating for sure. That's inevitable. Sorry to those who may make upset, but
and then the next few months we might even have a new a ticketing, not process, but new ticketing website to where they can actually pick their own seat. So we'll see if that works.
And how about selling out a pizza before intermission even started?
Oh,
that Jonathan was like, hey, we're out of pizza.
Well, I knew intermission. Like I was like,
that was a laugh, by the way, folks. He made tonight. It was definitely a laugh.
What?
Okay. You definitely laughed. You did.
It's debatable.
Yeah. Go back and listen to it.
But yeah, because I mean, so I'm standing at the door, I'm checking everybody in, tickets, trying to make sure everything goes across. Concessions is right across. I mean, I'm looking at the window, and I knew intermission hadn't got here yet. I mean, so we were just kind of still getting, people were still kind of trickling in, and I think one of the guys in the concession sticks his head out, and he was like, "Man, we're almost out of pizza," and I was like, "What?" I was like, "This said." The break hadn't even got here yet. I was like, oh boy. All right. I was like, we're about to have a lot of angry fans.
And then we sold out of the other ones too that we went and got.
Yeah. I sent a message to Lindsay too, but shout out to Lindsay because she went and got some extra pizza for us.
Yeah, and you know what?
And your wife too went and got can openers.
She did.
So I mean the whole team, man.
Stephanie says, I know I needed that pepperoni pizza.
Well, we're gonna have to order more next time. That's for sure.
But Lindsay, she went and got the pizza, and she made it back right before intermission started. So we were able to get everybody taken care of for the most part.
That wasn't the first issue we had with pizza that day, but I'm glad it was the last.
Oh,
I was sweating, man. But
hey, they're all dead. It's okay.
But to talking about Lindsay, you sent her a message, and she was saying, luckily, there's a pizza place across the street. You know what? Hey, Jeremy.
Who said that?
That's what Jeremy said.
Oh,
He said, lucky there's a pizza place across the street.
we didn't get it from them.
Yeah, we ain't gonna talk about Papa John's.
we
They on our bad list right now.
yeah, Jeremy, come on, man.
Well, that and honestly, that was my first thought was to get pizza from Papa John's, but I didn't know because I wasn't really watching, able to really see the show. I didn't know how close we were to intermission, and I was like, if intermission is like in the next 5 minutes, we like Papa John's ain't gonna have enough pizza ready for us to get here. So I was
I'm ready.
whatever was available quickly.
Well, there's only one.
But what I was saying was, you sent Lindsay a message, and she was sitting there. She gets a message. She's like, "Oh, that was nice." So appreciate you shooting that message to Lindsay. She said, that was really nice. It felt really good to get. She said, because it's not always that people notice things.
It's the small stuff, man. Like, that's why I did want to make sure I shouted out at their show. And I want to shout out the two that went and put out. Man, they put out 300 flyers in the heat in like 6 parking lots.
Well,
amazing.
In the mess, I had just thanked Lindsay because she got there. We didn't really we had kind of told everybody like, oh, we got plenty of help. We don't really need anybody to do anything. And then I was
holy crap, we don't have enough help.
trying to do merch, concessions, and the door. And I was like, oh, this ain't gonna work. And then she was like, well, I can help with merch. And so she pretty much ran the merch table the whole show. So I told her, I was like, thanks for helping out. Like, I know that probably wasn't what you envisioned when you showed up, because it wasn't like it was even discussed before the show. I mean, she showed up, she was there, and she was like, well, I can just help out.
No, I told her she was probably gonna be running merch.
She had the seed planted. But it was awesome, dude. Like, I keep thinking about it. I think about it every day.
Hey, show hadn't even started, and 2 people come up. Hey, can I buy a hat? Yeah, yes, you can.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. Like, old Wimburn down there, he does not. Oh,
that one was a laugh.
Yeah,
because I knew where you were going with it.
I told a fan that I said, no, because nobody really balked at the price once he saw like the quality of the hat, right?
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, the one owner here, he does not believe he's got champagne taste and definitely not a beer budget. Nothing, no corner cut with him. So, Jonathan Wimburn had to get the laced in gold Brandon Bills hats. And
well, just the hat. I'm a hat person. So
yeah,
I'm too.
I wanted it to be nice. I mean, it was,
they're very nice. They're very nice.
The branded Bills and the Richardson 112s are by far the nicest hats out there, in my opinion.
Let me look at Cheryl shouting out. Saw a flyer in Starbucks.
Saw a flyer in Starbucks a lot. Hey, so we actually had to go to UPS right before.
This is when I knew it was gonna be good.
We had to go to UPS right before, right after lunch, right before lunch, one of the two. And as we're on our way to lunch in the UPS, we see like 8 cars all just got flyers. We're like, oh, the guy's been here.
I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be good. And who knows? It might have led to none. Might have led to 10. We don't know. But just the joint effort, the collective effort of everybody. Just to
I'm excited about these new ones that we're going to try out.
Yeah,
I'm really excited about those.
I hope it works. We shall see.
Find one in the gas pump. Don't get upset.
What else? Oh, I got to shout him out, man. I don't know if he's listening now, but a shout out to little Jimmy Ward up there in Welford.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Big Jimmy, little Jimmy. He's helping us out tremendously for a void we needed to have filled for the May 13th show. So
for sure.
Big shout out to Jimmy Ward. Yeah. So what else? On transition to
shout out Keith Andrews.
I did shout out Keith.
And keep paying attention to our socials. We'll be as y'all know, Keith was the video guy. We'll be releasing some of those videos and stuff.
And I think that's another thing too that we kind of changed. Taking like you just go back and look at all the things that we tried to implement or change or tweak to make sure that like the overall experience and the fan experience and the worker experience has been like top notch. Social media has been blazing with PCW, like graphics wise, content wise, like the regularity of posts and staying active, the engagement with people and the fans, just small stuff, man. That's really tweaked, I think, the overall experience.
And we got a good social media guy.
Yeah, he's pretty dope. It's pretty dope.
Yep.
Yep. Next.
The three best friends that anybody could have. We're the three best friends that anyone could have. We're the three best friends that anyone can have. And we'll never, ever, 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 ever leave each other.
It gets me every time.
Don't you worry about your little striped head.
I mean, you got a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline.
Lot of stuff. So if you've been to a PCW show, if you're coming to a PCW show, if you want to come to a PCW show, just buckle up because it's
just beginning.
There's things coming. There's people coming. There's a lot of things happening, and we're just ecstatic. And shout out to Ethan and the academy and the students, man, because like they preach this cult life. The cult thing was kind of it started as a shot from an unworthy person and unworthy group, and they've turned it into a lifestyle. They turned it into a positive thing, and they're really, really making them eat crow because what they're doing from a talent level to a training level to I don't know. They got a couple talent in working with New Japan, so they must be doing something right. Just in different aspects of the business, whether it's in the ring, out of the ring,
and and that's a testament to the locker room. And I mean, we had several guys who was working for New Japan they were in Charlotte, right? DC.
Yeah, they're up north.
They who were working for New Japan, doing production and everything else for New Japan in DC. One of our main talents that's on the roster is now over in Japan.
Noah
with Noah,
and he's throwing up the L's left and right.
He is.
That's a testament to Ethan.
Sean Legacy, shout out to him. And guys we used on the regular in the past. JD Drake, formerly known as James Drake, and Anthony Henry, now part of All Elite Wrestling.
I don't think I love Sean. We all love Sean. Like his talent, his look, his personality. He's very personable. I don't know what's telling me this, but I don't think he comes back. Like he's due to come back in 3 months, man. But I don't think he comes back for a while.
Well,
if he does,
I put it in the chat, and you said that's a bold statement. I think he's the next. I think Sean's got the talent and the look to become very Will Ospreay-esque over there.
That's a huge opinion, and definitely one that's not to be taken lightly because he's super, super talented. And like I said, he's personable, he's friendly, looks great, does things a guy that looks like that shouldn't normally be able to do.
Super muscles, I think. Is that what they call him?
They called him something witty. I was laughing. Muscle Superman or muscles, I don't know. Muscle superhero.
Something like that.
Yeah, it was pretty hilarious. But like watching the video footage of him, he's having a blast, man.
Oh yeah.
I think I was most jealous over that fresh sushi he was eating.
Yeah, it was very nice, very nice looking.
I was looking at that. I messaged him. I said, "Hey, so just tell me, is the sushi there better?" He's like, "Oh, not even close. It's way better." I'm like, "Dang it!" But
I mean, we can all make a trip to Japan.
You wouldn't eat the sushi though.
I would eat it in Japan.
Wait a minute, what?
You got to. I wouldn't eat gator here, but I ate gator in Louisiana.
Thanks, James Johnson. He has big body parts. Was my favorite line from the article about
he
Sean.
Did say that.
Yes.
Japanese commentary. Gotta love
it. Translation. It'll get you every time. But yeah, so moving on.
There's a lot to talk about, man, with PCW. That was great. It's great. And that's another testament to the show. The fact that you can just sit here and just talk about it without even knowing what to talk about, but it just comes because it's just that good.
Yeah. Before we continue, we got to do this, guys.
This is Elliot's favorite part of the show, by the way.
Don't judge. Guys, this is brought to you by Day Soul Coffee Lab out of where?
Birmingham, Alabama.
Birmingham, Alabama. This is Jonathan's favorite part. Yo, I consider myself a coffee connoisseur. I absolutely love coffee.
Absolutely.
And I found what I believe to be the absolute best coffee out there. With Day Soul Coffee Lab, you can be sure to get coffee that's super smooth and always fresh roasted. Some of the best, if not the best coffee you'll ever drink. So swing over to the website, daysoulcoffeelab.co, and use promo code LOWDOWN to get 10% off your order. They even have a subscription option where they'll deliver coffee directly to you every month. So guys, it's a no-brainer. If you're going to drink coffee, you might as well make it great coffee. Oh yeah, super smooth. That's how I like my coffee.
Fresh roasted.
Always fresh roasted.
Always fresh roasted.
Chris Baldwin says this music.
I think I'm laughing at his laughing emoji. So wait a minute, Chris, is this your first time tuning in? I'd like to know that.
Also,
I don't remember seeing his name up there before.
It might be one.
I think he has before. I feel like I've seen it.
I think he would have reacted to the music before if he's heard that. Maybe he hasn't.
But it might have been
since
before
this.
the music.
Oh yeah, we've improved a little bit.
Also, fans and talent alike, if you let us know what you thought about personally about the first show, I'd like to know, like some good old feedback. So
I'll say it like I say it to the PCW locker room, man. We're miles from where we were and miles from where we need to be. So
absolutely,
it's like one of those things. Never stop improving. Sounds like a Lowe's ad.
For life.
Showtime.
Uh,
Got him again.
Because I knew as soon as I said it and I saw your face, I was like, oh, that like
I get amped when I can make him laugh.
I just knew it was gonna stick. I was like, I shouldn't have said that.
Speaking of Showtime, we saw the Icon Sting on AEW Dynamite last week with a fire promo. He's not going to be on there this week.
He is a fine wine, bro.
Oh yeah.
Well, before we get in AEW, because we can kind of transition to AEW. But Shane, you both brought up the podcast, the Jarrett podcast earlier.
Yeah. So let's preface everybody and tell everybody what kind of led into this.
So I absolutely hate Jeff Jarrett.
Absolutely, we made it known to the locker room, and they practically
I found to be one of the absolute worst wrestler. You know?
They practically booed. They wanted to boo him out of the locker room. But anyway, go ahead. You hate Jeff Jarrett.
But last week we had Ethan on the show, and Ethan
challenge.
I made a commitment to listen to at least 4 episodes of Jarrett's podcast.
That thing was friggin' long.
It was super long. It took me a while to listen. The first episode was like 3.5 hours. I was like, I started it thinking it like maybe an hour, 2 hours, and I was like, 3 hours. I was like, oh my! I was like, I'm gonna be listening to this for days. So I've gotten through. I'm almost done with episode 2.
Oh wow!
I do thoroughly enjoy the podcast. And I kind of thought I would. Not hold on before you.
Hold on. Wait. He said he enjoyed the podcast, not that he enjoyed Jeff Jarrett.
Right.
Okay.
That's what
I caught you.
Like but it was kind of going into it. I mean, Jarrett's been around for a long time, so I knew there was going to be a lot of stories.
Is it him and Conrad?
Yes.
Okay.
And each episode is really kind of about like a specific moment in Jarrett's career, or something he was been involved with. So I haven't, but they've kind of bounced around and talked about things that they're going to talk about on future episodes. Because I think they said they sat down and had like a whole roadmap of like all these things they want to talk about. And I'm already like, some of the future stuff is what I'm ready to get to. But I do thoroughly enjoy the podcast because there's a lot of stories and a lot of tidbits where I, like peek behind the curtain.
I want to know about the holdup.
I still don't like Jarrett as much. Like there's been moments where he's not said things, but just like the moment I'm like, see, like, and then like he talks about like JR not offering him a contract, like the holdup. He was like, JR never once. He was like, nothing against JR. I love him. I mean, he praises JR through pretty much the whole podcast, but the first episode. But he talks about like JR, JR was over talent and didn't even really come to him with a contract when him and China, where he was like, we were like outside of the DX thing. He was like, we were like, me and China were like the hottest story going.
Well, the Intercontinental title story?
And JR didn't even like they never like actually offered him a contract, like in this, like
he was freelancing it.
Like that. And so he was just talking about JR. But then like the whole time I'm listening to it, I was like, heck yeah, JR. Good for you. JR knew exactly what I knew. But so it doesn't really cause, I mean, I don't have any more admiration for Jarrett than a.
I swear to God, I hope Jarrett wears the AEW World Heavyweight Championship at some point.
But it was good because the only part that has changed, and it's still one side of the story. I mean, we're only hearing Jarrett's side, but like the WCW stuff, I guess that's kind of like. I mean, I've never really been a Jarrett fan, but the 2000 WCW stuff when Jarrett was like the main guy, I think was what really caused me to dislike him. But he talks about it, and he was saying that wasn't like. I mean, you want to be the top guy. That was part of the reason like he left WWE in '99, but he was saying a lot of the stuff that happened wasn't things that he was necessarily on board to do. He was like, my thing was like, he was on TV every time, and he was like, my contract was like on a per appearance thing. It wasn't like the other contracts where they were not doing house shows, and he was like, so I wanted to work as much as possible. So I mean, there was moments where I was like, okay, well, I can see why this happened or stuff, but.
In all actuality,
still not a Jarrett fan.
Thinking about Jarrett in his career, I think, and not that it was bad to me, but my least favorite time of Jarrett's career was that WCW run.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't think it was bad, but I prefer the Double J stuff, that mid '90s stuff.
For me, there's nothing memorable in his WCW run.
I remember the shaved head. I remember he always wore these traditional sunglasses, these specific sunglasses, slap nuts. That was all WCW.
Check on that.
Ain't I great? That was he kind of did that in WWF previously, but choke on a slap nuts. Yeah, that was kind of. I mean, it sticks out, but it's just like, dude, I loved his TNA stuff, like the King of the Mountain stuff. I think that's my favorite. I actually enjoy this run he's doing now. I think I like I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the presentation of him, maybe the fact that it's him working with high, main event level talent, but putting them over. I don't know what it is, but I'm just enjoying what he's doing now. And I think he's in fantastic shape. I think he's in better shape than a lot of the younger guys.
So, I mean, I can't remember if we talked about it last week, but I think you confused I do dislike Jarrett, but I dislike him because he's always been a heel, and I don't really he's a good worker. I mean, I think
he wasn't always a heel. He was a face in WWE for a minute.
He was a baby face
for a bit, but I mean, he's pretty much been what he's known for is being a heel.
Yes.
But that's why I don't like him. I mean, he's good at his job.
I know what I wanted to show you last week.
Good at being a heel, which is why I don't like him. But
I don't know if that's why you don't like him.
That's part of it. I mean, part of it is I think
I
didn't really like, as a kid, I didn't like the Double J stuff as a little kid.
Sure.
But then what I remember is the late WCW where he was
awful,
the main event guy, and I don't necessarily think he was the face of the company or should have been. And then obviously he founded TNA, so he depending on how you look at it, I mean he made himself put himself in the.
He was Cody Rhodes before Cody Rhodes.
But he's got a good mind for the business. And that's what I enjoy about the podcast is he really, dives into a lot. I mean, he talks about his dad. And so the first episode, it was long, but the main theme was the hold up with Vince in '99 and him leaving. Second episode has to do with WCW, the week that WCW was purchased by Vince.
Oh,
and then,
I would have loved to know his reaction.
And then him being fired because the very first segment. That was the part I just finished. So the very first segment. So they came to Jarrett pre-show and said, "Hey, we need to film, some pre-roll. Can you just grab your guitar out of the case?" So they film it. Jarrett he doesn't talk or anything. All he does is open the guitar. So when Raw starts, they got the two screens and Vince is does this whole thing about oh, we got Jeff Jarrett, WCW, and you got Vince McMahon. He's on dual screen doing commentary, and he was I bought WCW. He was Jeff spells his name JEFF, and he was well, now you're GOONNEE, and he fires him on the spot, and then Jarrett's
shoot.
Jarrett was so Jarrett said he was because they were Conrad's asking, he was but if the story is that you and Bruce were watching it on the monitor in the back because it was already recorded. And he was I was watching it. And he was honestly, my thought was out of all the people he picked to do the segment, it was me, and he was like, I didn't the hold up thing. He says it wasn't. It didn't go down the way a lot of everybody perceived it, so it wasn't really a hold up that he left on decent terms. So he was like, he picked everybody on the roster. He picked me. So Jarrett is saying that he thought it was going to lead into a program.
Oh,
and he was like, how can I be fired when I was never hired? Like, but that's the part I'm at now. So I
would love to hear all that kind of stuff.
But like looking at the track list, a lot of episodes are about TNA getting started. There's one, I'm a big Tennessee Titan fan, so one of the episodes is like titled "How the Titans Saved TNA," and so I'm ready to get to that one because I want to hear that. But there's a lot of stories. It's good.
Cool. You want to talk about Dynamite card? I want to talk about the hottest story in wrestling right now first,
which is
the future of CM Punk and that whole story. Saturday show coming with AEW. AEW Collision, right? It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, rumors are CM Punk is going to be the kind of like a mainstay on that show because at least the Young Bucks aren't willing to work with him.
Allegedly.
Yeah, I'll say allegedly. We'll see.
But so at the same time, neither was Chris Jericho at one point. And now who's the rumored feud for CM Punk? And I'm sorry, but that sells to me.
Well, I mean, you got a stadium show.
Oh,
in Wembley, you got to sell.
You imagine Wembley singing Judas?
What better way? I mean, whether it be Punk versus Jericho or
speaking of
Punk
Wembley,
and FTR versus the Elite. I mean, one of those. I mean, both of those. I mean, I think the more money's behind Punk versus the Elite if they can make it happen.
Just read Will Ospreay is now cleared and will be wrestling this month.
I hope my gut tells me we're going to go with, again, we're speaking ahead, but I think we're going to end up getting Jericho and the Appreciation Society against Punk and FTR. I think it was.
That's something that's rumored, yeah.
Maybe even a 4-on-4. Is there somebody else that could be thrown in the mix? That would make sense.
I mean, Wardlow's close to FTR.
Yeah, former Pinnacle.
Yep. So there's a lot of things. I'm excited. So I don't know about y'all's
Punkicle.
But as soon as they announced Wembley Stadium, I was like, oh boy, this is huge. Huge. So supposedly they got 50,000. When do tickets go on sale? Is there a for sale date? Is it May?
Something, yeah. I mean, they did announce a for sale date.
They have 50,000 people in queue to pre-order, supposedly.
Yep.
And what's crazy is people aren't realizing like that's 50,000 people ready to order, not 50,000 tickets ready to be sold. So average, say 2 tickets a person, say only 30,000. I mean, that's 60,000 people. I mean, that's going to be crazy.
I mean, Wembley's a big deal. And I mean, I think if they sell out, I mean, that's a huge thing. But that was another thing that Jarrett talked about in his podcast, him and Conrad. So like almost right before WCW sold, like they did a run in Australia. And Jarrett was talking about it being massive for WCW. And he was like, I mean, way bigger. I mean, bigger than what they were doing in the States at the time because they were going over numbers and they weren't good. And he was like, but the Australia tour was a big success. He said, but the reason it was a success is because WWE they weren't even, I guess WCW was on TV there. Like they had a TV deal in Australia, but WWE wasn't. So it was a market that WWE wasn't hitting. And so this was like the only, and like he was like, they weren't getting a lot of entertainment stuff there. So they made the decision, WCW made the decision to run a tour there. And he was like, it was fantastic. I mean, we came back and then it was like, we came back to nothing. But
Wembley seats 90,000 people.
That doesn't include what they'll put on the field.
So what number do you think AEW has to hit or should really be targeting to be successful here? So average show was probably 55 to 7,500 people, I would say. Dynamite, I would say, based on the kind of venues that they seek, right? Not that they're getting these 20,000 seats and only filling 25% of them. They're literally targeting these smaller venues and they're filling them. So going to a stadium that very publicly seats 90,000 people. What should be their goal here? No, if you're Tony Khan, what are you looking at to be like, you know what?
I don't think you're picking that venue if you don't expect to
So-
pack it out.
So my thing is, I think it's like a success
Yeah.
would be at least half. I mean, 45 to 50. Now, I think they'll sell out for multiple reasons. Because I like Ellie said, I think you don't pick the venue or the timing unless you know. I mean, because it is a risk. However, you got a lot of AEW talent that's from the area,
Europe.
So that's it's a big because I mean, obviously WWE does their own Europe tour, but you got a ton of AEW stars that are from the area. The Khans, Tony and his dad, are real big because they own the soccer club, and then like the Jaguars. If you could pick any NFL team that kind of represents like them playing in Europe, it's usually the Jaguars. Like they were the first team to really that was kind of the London's team, and there was talks at one point about the Jaguars moving to London. So I think they have like the family as an ownership group have ties to the area. So I think it's.
And here's the thing: there's a lot of venues they could have chosen in Europe to do this. They chose the biggest one.
But you gotta. I mean, the other side to that is, you get as far as picking the arena and stuff like that. I mean, you kind of have to. I think they kind of have to know what they're getting into. But like I said, WWE kind of has their own Europe tour. But you look at like how we view wrestling here. WWE is more sports entertainment, AEW is more wrestling. So like if you look at it that way, I mean, this may be the first like mainstream big wrestling show that they have, where fans are going to watch wrestling, not just because it's a WWE monster.
ICW is nuts.
Oh yeah, facts. And here's another thing too. You're saying there's a lot of talent in AEW that are big or from the area, right? But there's a lot of talent that aren't really contracted to anybody that can be used for this show that could help draw too. So I'm excited, man. And that's gonna be. I can't wait. What time would that air here? Any idea? What's 7 p.m. Where is it at? Wales? No. Where's that at? London. Where's that? What time is it there? What time would we have to watch it here? Because it's gonna be live. So you need like 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Right now it's 3:30 a.m.
And so I definitely
midnight.
think Ospreay will be on the show. So
Has to be.
they've already. I mean, so Omega's already announced that he's fighting the winner of this 4-person tournament at Forbidden Door. And it was Archer, somebody else, Ospreay, and so there was already plans for Ospreay to like be cleared way before. I mean, that's in June, so I mean, like way before the Wembley show. So I definitely think he's there. I mean, he's been on AEW before. I don't think they missed an opportunity to have him involved.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, there's no way you have a show in Wembley and Ospreay not be there. I mean, this is gonna be on the level of like a Wrestle Kingdom.
So this will probably air during the around noontime.
Noontime?
Yeah, 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe. Think about how
Well, whatever 7 p.m. is there.
Clash of the
3 or
Clash
4
of
is
the
not
Castle.
noon.
I'm trying to remember Clash of the Castle in Wales.
Yeah.
Either way, I just hope it's not like a, like Wrestle Kingdom.
Noon to early afternoon would be my guess. I mean, it's 3:30 in the morning there right now. It's 10:30 here. That's 5 hours. So yeah,
It's about 5:30 here, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, this is 7.
Oh, that'd be nice. Oh, that'd be great.
No. They're if it's 3:30 a.m., they're 5 hours ahead of us. So if they're doing it at 8 o'clock, it'd be 3:30 or 3
p.m.
Yeah,
our time.
Yep,
Eastern Standard.
8 p.m. there, 3 p.m. here.
Even better. What day of the week is it? Is it a Saturday? I don't even know.
It's Sunday.
It's a maybe I'll make it. We can make it work.
Oh, I can make it work.
We'll make it work, fellas.
Tickets going to sell May 5th.
That's oh my Lord, that's coming up fast. Oh, 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Want to go to London?
No, I have no interest in going to London. But
Bangers and mash.
I'm just thrilled, man. I think AEW is doing something big risk, big reward, right? It's like a common sales tactic, but
Well, and what, 2 weeks after that, Forbidden Door?
yeah, this is all
no.
tied
So,
together.
Forbidden Doors in June.
June
June
21st.
25th.
Oh,
And then All In is in Wembley in August 27th. And then All Out is in Chicago like the following week.
Okay, that's the one thing.
this is all tying together. You don't have all these shows, these big shows in this window if they don't have big plans, right? There's something brewing in the AEW world, and it's one of those things you got to buckle up for.
Well,
That's a lot of big shows to have.
let's talk about Dynamite.
Yes.
We got TNT champion Powerhouse Hobbs with QT Marshall,
I love
whatever.
him.
Against Wardlow, TNT championship match.
Do they change the belt again?
Ugh.
Bro. No, because every time I say they're gonna change it, they're gonna end up changing it. It happens. So I don't even want to say anything about it. They're trying to save Wardlow, right? Salvage him because
But
he's kind of fallen from the
based on
races.
typical, I guess, wrestling logic. So Wardlow came out and completely obliterated everybody in Powerhouse's little circle last week. So something could.
God.
He's going under. I don't think he'll win it.
No. Definitely won't.
Okay, sure, definitely won't.
Hey, Switchblade Jay White
Oh my,
makes
God.
his in-ring debut as an AEW talent.
There we go.
Against Commander.
That's your match of the night. So that's gonna be fantastic. Obviously, we know which way that's probably gonna go.
Switchblade and Juice.
Oh yes,
Bullet Club Gold.
love it. So exciting.
We also have Jamie Hayter and Dr. Britt Baker DMD versus
Your favorite team with your favorite talent. I mean,
Ruby Soho and Tony Storm, the Outsiders. Mm-hmm.
that just clicked. They're outcasts, aren't they?
Yeah, the Outcasts, not the Outsiders.
I was like, what? They are the New World Order people.
Hey, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah,
If you think about it, storytelling.
The what?
they're the Outcasts.
Modern day NWO. That's what.
Oh, well, they came out. I mean, Paige came out, or Saraya came out and said that was their inspiration, and that the reason they used green spray paint was because DX was also going on at that time, and it's an ode to them too.
Never heard any of that. Well, that makes sense.
Well, Soraya's the vet or the older vet with like Hogan. Then you got Tony
And broken, older and broken down, like Hogan.
anyways.
Anyway,
You got the Acclaimed and who is that? Daddy. Versus Daddy Magic.
I love him.
Cool Hand Ange and Jake Hager.
Dude, I love Daddy Magic. I didn't like him at first at all. He's hilarious.
So met him in
What's his name? Matt
Menard.
Yeah.
Met him, Cool Hand Ange and Daniel Garcia at All Out in Chicago.
That's right.
Very nice guys. I'm enjoying this feud.
I love that Billy Gunn's on a run of his life too. He's having a blast.
Yeah, he could arguably be in the best shape of his life too.
Another guy that don't know how he does it, but he gets better shape as he gets older. Don't know how he does it. Miracle.
TRT.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that one.
Creatine.
Yeah. Energy drinks.
We will also hear from
We're hearing from a lot of people this Wednesday night.
AEW Tag Team Champions FTR.
Fresh off the announcement that they're quote unquote
4 years.
4 years, and then they're breaking up.
Then they're retiring.
Sure. But yes, so I'm excited to see what they do. Long term, short term, and long term.
We will also hear from the Elite.
Elite.
I wonder if we'll end up hearing from. So they're
Another guy that's got in incredible shape, Kenny Omega.
yep.
Every week he comes, like every week he shows up, he's in better shape than last week.
Yeah, we'll hear from them.
Could do a Mount Rushmore of like wrestlers I just hate: Brock Lesnar, Jeff Jarrett, Kenny Omega. Then I gotta find a fourth.
But sometimes you're like, you know what? I like Kenny Omega.
But there's times where I like Brock too.
Oh,
Not
that's
often,
few and
but-
far between.
Not often, but
When he's number 30 in the Royal Rumble, I freaking hate him then.
Or interjects himself into a Money in the Bank match.
Bro, that was awesome. I'll never forget that moment. That was one of my
Brock party.
best moments, because that you were here. We were watching that,
it
right?
was a Rumble.
The the ladder match.
Money in the Bank. You remember that?
Yeah, but it was a Rumble where you were
No,
like,
Brock
Brock's
party
gonna
was before that.
Enter himself number 30, like at the beginning of the Rumble. And
I was being
like,
facetious,
nah.
though.
I was like, I'll walk out, and then
The guitar riff. you look over at Jonathan. I'm out.
The Brock party was before.
Yeah, that was after he won the Money in the Bank.
Yeah,
he turned the thing into a boombox, beatbox, or whatever that thing's called. But anyway, enough WWE.
been a good feud with the Elite and BCC.
Yeah,
Jonathan, I know you're a big fan of BCC as heels.
I love it. I mean, I like them all individually. I mean, even before when they first started BCC, but I just think it works so much better as heels.
I love Daniel or Bryan Danielson being in the mix.
Just the like, I don't give a F attitude.
Yeah.
I like that they're beating up everybody.
We'll do what we want. I mean, like, I think it fits the stable. I mean, like with kind of what they were.
So interesting thing that so Hangman Adam Page was at Comic-Con this past week.
Yep.
In Greenville. While there, wearing a patch over his left eye. From where he got stabbed in it, I guess, with a screwdriver by John Moxley.
so good.
Gotta love Mox.
I do. I really do. I don't even.
Their Hangman on the other. He could be my fourth. I'm not a fan of Hangman.
I can't.
I don't.
Can't buy in.
I'll say it's not.
It's not that it doesn't look good.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like I just like
He's over.
when he comes out.
It's his work on the mic.
I'm just not sold. Like I don't
believe him.
Yeah, something's off.
A lot of people want to say he's Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm like, no, he's not. No.
Oh, Mox is much closer to Stone Cold.
Oh, yeah. Like Mox. So that's what draws me to Mox. What draws me to guys like Eddie Kingston is their believability factor. And like when they speak, and I'm, yep, he's a bad dude. Bad. Don't mess with him.
And some of it might have been. I mean,
Hangman's like, oh, guys,
like I
let's
went
go.
back and watched the old Hangman match. I think it might have been Hangman and Cody tagging New Japan or something. And
Ring
it was
of
a good.
Honor?
It was a good match or something. It was
Because
older
Cody
match.
probably.
But like when I started watching AEW, like shortly after, it was Hangman was doing the whole thing with the Dark Order, and they just like kept teasing it. And I think that maybe that has something to do with it because they kept teasing like him joining and stuff, and he kept putting it off. And then there was like, I mean,
yeah, but you can't blame
like,
Hangman for
I
that.
know, but like no, I mean I know, but it was just like the way he would fit in that, like it just didn't like there was no payoff. Which I mean, there's still time, I guess. I mean, anything can
And they still
happen,
kind
but
of do it once in a while.
I don't know. It just like to the point where I was like, I just wasn't invested. But then when I would hear him on the mic, I was like, I just don't like something's. I don't know,
I'd rather
I just
listen to Evil Uno on a mic.
Well, I mean, but if you think about it, this whole BCC versus Adam Page and the Elite started with Dark Order.
Yeah. I mean, it's long-term storytelling, but I don't know, like with Adam Page and the Elite, like they'd go so long without Adam Page doing any, or I'm sorry, with Dark Order and Adam Page, they'd go so long without doing anything with him. But then with Adam, like when they needed another guy, Adam Page would always come in and like it was a big deal. Like I don't know, he's always been like the
like I get that's his character
unannounced
because it's
leader.
also kind of like similar to that with the Elite. It's like he's friends with him, but he's not. Like I don't know, he shows up when he wants, but then
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. I just don't see it. Like kind of how when we were talking about Erica and stuff earlier about just has it. Like when I look at Hangman, I don't see it. Like it just doesn't feel nothing feels special to me. Not that he's like there's anything wrong. It just doesn't
awesome
necessarily
gear.
feel like
awesome gear.
like the whole package to me. Something's missing.
It's the believability.
Yeah, for me, well, probably up until this last feud with Mox, my issue with Hangman was always his promos.
There's like emotion.
Like when he's a face, I don't necessarily believe it, but then I also don't believe it when he's a heel. Like, and then maybe that's where people were talking about, like comparing him to Austin and the whole like cowboy, so that like Texas thing. But I don't know, like it just like I don't know where I see, like I don't know what he could do to make me believe in his character. Like I just don't
go to promo class.
I just don't see it.
They teach at the Palmetto Wrestling Academy.
Also, we have Chris Jericho confront Adam Cole face to face.
I love anything Jericho's involved with. Even the things I don't think Jericho, like, I think they'll be good. Jericho really has a way to elevate them and make them magical. So, and Adam Cole, fresh off his, a couple weeks removed from his injury return. I'm excited to see what they do. And I'm also intrigued here. Are they building toward a match with these two? So
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Sure they are.
I just didn't know which direction they were going. So
and what's Double or Nothing is May 28th. So we're like a month away.
Yeah, I mean it started with
All In's in Wembley, right? When's that?
June.
All In is August. Forbidden Door is June. So you got Double or
So we
Nothing
got
in May.
plenty of time. I was wondering how they were.
So
how
when's
they
the
were
Wembley show?
August.
So you got Double or Nothing in May.
Yes.
Forbidden Door in June, and then Wembley in August, and then All Out in September.
You got half a year of pure magic from AEW. But no, what I was wondering was like, all right, so the likely rumor, if to believe, is going to be Jericho and Punk. I was wondering how that tied in together, but if that's not coming until August, there's plenty of time.
But so the rumor
June 20th
is that they want
Punk in
Chicago, which is the Dynamite is June 21st.
Okay.
In Chicago.
That's what. And they are announced. You read that they are announcing his return.
Yeah.
Before that, it's not going to be a surprise.
But so,
what is their plan?
So
Jonathan?
Dynamite is June 21st in Chicago.
Punk return. Got it.
Forbidden Door is June 25th.
4 days later.
So
he's got a match.
Something.
It's got to be somebody from New Japan.
And then I could
Punk versus Kenta.
And then Jericho could interfere in that. And then it.
Very nice. Very simple. Writes itself.
GTS versus GTS.
I am a little I would be a little nervous with the I'm hoping they do a tag team. They incorporate FTR and the Appreciation Society. Because I'm a little nervous. I always think Jericho's best matches are with a younger talent because they can really make him look really good.
Yeah.
We know how Punk's matches have been. They've been good, but they've been a little sketch.
Yeah.
So obviously on the marquee, Jericho and Punk can sell. But I think what makes the match on a whole nother level is when you incorporate people that kind of protect them.
Yeah.
So all I see, this is my vision. This is how you got to do it. You have the Appreciation Society beat down Punk. And then, that hits, the place will go nuts because the fans at that point would have gotten everything they've wanted for so long. It's got to be a slow build. You got plenty of time.
So there's
Tony
2
Khan better
there's
deliver.
2 months between
a lot of time.
The Chicago Dynamite and All In Wembley.
I see you got your friends. Well, I got my friends too. Just that's something Punk would say. I think we're getting ready for another summer of Punk for sure. What is this? The 4th one?
And then the
intentional.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like he knew what he was stirring up. He calls the whole brouhaha so he could leave, rest up, and return for the summer of Punk.
And it only makes sense.
Well, I feel like I think I said that originally. Like if he knew he was hurt, like he could have. I mean, it might have, he might not have anticipated the backlash that he got. But if he knew he was hurt, I mean, and was going to be out for a while, like what was there to really lose?
Nothing.
Doing the presser the way he did it. I mean,
It's solid work.
It could be one of those things where people were tipped, like, hey, this is gonna happen. You know, I'm gonna say a couple things. You know, because I'm hurt. You know, they could have pulled an audible. We don't know. That's the beauty
that's
of
a
it.
heck of a way to write him off.
We'll never know. And then how about all the story? Remember immediately when it happened, like, oh, they're talking about a buyout, and never, like, nothing ever came out of it. Just time passed. I know.
From the very beginning.
I know. But like the talk was there, and like, I don't know. I just think it's this is gonna be a huge payoff. Huge. And now they went from this new Saturday show to where it was going to be like a C or a D show, right? And now it's going to probably be, if numbers are to be believed, when Punk debuted at Rampage, right? Well, we all were there for that. They drew like 1.2 million or 1.3 million people. If he does that on a Saturday show, that's going to be AEW's new A show.
Well, see, there's the
that's scary.
You know, again, you know, I've been going back to Jarrett's podcast a lot, and I've only 2 episodes in, but Jarrett talked about, because he said when they announced that WWE was buying WCW, he was like, we didn't know what was going to happen. He was like, everybody was still under the impression that there would still be a Nitro and a Thunder. It just, what would it look like? Because he was like, you know, from Jim Crockett, he was like, there was always wrestling on Turner. Like, it was always, you know, between Saturday 605, you know, Nitro, there was always some kind of wrestling. He was like, the thing that there was not going to be any wrestling on Turner at all, like, nobody saw that coming. That was just Vince just sticking it to everybody. WCW. But like, that's the thing, that time slot we were talking about, the C show. I mean, that's always, I mean, that was, you know, we compare AEW a lot to WCW because that's what it feels like. I mean, you got Shivani, I mean, it's certain things, but you put AEW on Saturday at 6:05.
And what a big FU that is to WWE, you know? And I'm just like, so, and another thing I keep reading, keep hearing about is like, Punk has a lot of, regardless of what they say in the dirts, Punk has a lot of people that like him. A lot of people that are friends with him. You move him to Saturday, you got people that are going to want to go where he is, just to be under that learning tree, so to speak. So
ultimately, what gets me excited though is if they announce a Saturday show, and it's whether, I mean, I don't necessarily know if it's going to be live. I mean, if Punk's there, I feel like it has to be, but I mean, I don't know.
I think Punk could be the determining factor what makes it live.
But I'm just more excited for AEW to have more time on TV because they have a big roster that
bloated
needs some time. I mean, there's moments where I see somebody on TV and then they're not on main TV for a month or two at a time. And then you have mainstays that are on there every show, but yeah.
I'm just hoping they intertwine the two shows a little bit, you know. I don't like the whole, like, you belong to this show, you belong to this show. I don't like that. Like, I like you could have anybody from either show on any show anytime, you know. But we shall see. What do you think, Elliot? What do you think about the Saturday show?
No, I mean,
605 gets me in.
I think it'll be good. Like Jonathan said, having such a big roster, having that extra time to get more people.
2-hour show, right? Rumored?
I mean, I think that's what's rumored.
Yeah, that's what's rumored. But you know, you mentioned WWE a while ago. I read something today where everyone in the front office is starting to say that the next month or two, the Triple H era finally begins.
I just chuckle.
Again.
I just chuckle because I've heard that, and Vince weaseled his way in, but I'm thinking with the change in dynamic and the shift in Endeavor,
and that's the other thing is they talked about some stuff that was in Vince's contract now under Endeavor, and one of them is, should Endeavor find anything? Should he make passes at assistants, or Like
They have to put that in his contract. You know, there's a problem.
no, I mean,
like
but,
Deshaun
but
Watson.
Right.
but it's in the contract. Is what they were saying is that any type of you're paying people under the table,
Oh my God.
like everything he was.
They want him. They want him gone.
Yeah,
I don't care what Ari,
it,
whatever his name is.
yeah. If that's any of that's found out, he's automatically terminated. Done.
I'm hoping that that's another thing that's going on. So you got all these shows coming on, but at the same time, around that same time in the fall, we're gonna have the close of WWE,
Which could be a reason why
the
the
purchasing close,
Vince-
not closing.
Vince is not showing his head as much around.
Well, I can say, I mean, like, it seemed very clear
Yeah.
the Monday after Raw had Vince written all over it. And then it did not do very well.
One of the
And-
worst reviewed episodes of ever
and
in
then
history.
Since then, like the reports have come out that's like, oh, like Vince had his say in that, but maybe that was like a red flag to everybody involved. And it was
Good.
like, yeah, like
Good. This
pull
is
the
not what-
reins back a little bit. This thing, we're going in the right direction. This is not the direction we want to go in.
Good. I like that.
But did you see what Nick Khan said a
Uh,
few days ago?
that it was that was something about Triple H.
Well, he said Triple H has been in charge of creative.
Yep.
And he was like, if he wants input from Vince or Vince has an idea, they're going to communicate. That's always been the case, which was, I thought the last part of that was funny because we kind of knew, but they always was like, oh, yeah, Vince has no part in creative. Okay, yeah. Well, if Vince wants something, like all he's got to do is make the call. But that's not what I was talking about.
From the beginning. Ever since they announced, I said Vince has never left. I know you remember you were always like, well, kind of legally,
I mean, he's got. He was. I mean, I'm not saying Triple H wasn't going to listen. Like, hey, it's his father-in-law, not just somebody that's run WWE for, his pretty
50
much
years.
like 50 years. But that's also his father-in-law. Like, you're not going to tell him no. But I don't think he was like popping in the office or anything like that. But that wasn't what I was talking about with Nick Khan. So they interviewed him. He was talking about the third hour of Raw. And he said,
yes, I did hear this.
When we're talking about the 10 to 11 hour of Monday Night Raw, we're specifically talking to NBC, Universal, and ourselves about what we do with that moving forward. We ask, what do we do if we tweak this? That 10 to 11 hours basic cable is not really broadcast. So, they were just kind of teasing that they might.
The return to the 3-hour show?
They're on 3 hours now.
No. Are they
For
3?
Raw? Yeah,
Raw's
Raw's 3.
But that
Oh,
saying
that's right.
that, like,
But-
in AW.
like that.
Making that
That
last
third
hour.
hour would
Edgy.
be like edgy TV 14.
Well,
At least that's how people interpreted it.
it makes sense. But back in the day, Raw, you used to have Raw, and then Raw was it Warzone, Raw Zone? They'd call for that second, that edgier hour of Raw. Oh God. Anyway, I'm looking forward to Dynamite tomorrow night, boys.
Yep, it's gonna be good.
Let's
Well, we spent the whole show talking about wrestling, but I just wanted to ask a question because I watched it. Did you get a chance to watch Cocaine Bear?
No, I have not.
I have.
Elliot has, but it's on my Mamba list.
All right, we'll talk about it.
It's on my Mamba list.
I watched a good bit of movies this week because I was off.
What I was telling you, I wanted to show you. I forgot what I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you that video of Chuck Norris super kicking Jeff Jarrett. You'll love it.
But no,
Thank you, Chuck
I
Norris.
watched Plane.
Fantastic.
It was really good. I watched Missing. It was good too.
Fantastic.
I watched Cocaine Bear.
I heard it was hilarious.
Okay.
You didn't like it?
No, I did not.
It was very Shaun of the Dead. Yes.
So compare
In my opinion,
compare it to
I don't know if I laughed at all.
what?
I did.
Guys, come on. You're not that different in comedic. You're not. You have pretty similar. You guys are doing the same exact thing. Okay. All right. So compare it to Tucker and Dale.
I've never seen Tucker and Dale.
Oh well.
It's very similar.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's slapstick comedy.
Oh, it'd be hilarious.
To me, there wasn't
Tucker and Dale
much
be evil.
comedy in it at all. To me,
Was all the funny stuff in the trailers?
I just don't think there was anything funny in it really at all.
Oh, come on. That part with the bears don't climb trees part. Yes, they do. do? Like that whole part of the scene makes me laugh every time. I don't know. I like that kind of stuff. Anyway,
It happens a little different in the movie.
One of those.
Not too different.
All right, guys. Anyway, I'll watch it. I promise. It's on my list.
It's not as cut and dry like it is in the trailer, obviously.
That's what I meant. It's just not. It doesn't happen exactly how it does in the trailer, but I don't know. I mean, it wasn't like. I'm glad I watched it, but it wasn't something I would probably watch again.
Okay.
Like it just wasn't like I wanted it to be much more than it was. So maybe I might have had funny moments. I was like expecting to like really enjoy it, and when I got done, I was like like I could have went by without watching it.
It's a B. In my opinion, it's a B movie. All right.
That's a wrap, folks.
On that note,
Mhm.
All right, Big Brother's calling.
I am excited. This is the week of Evil Dead Rise, and the reviews have been fantastic. The early reviews, even the critics' reviews are through the roof. 95% on Rotten Tomatoes from critics only. That's my movie this week, without a doubt.
I'm off at 5 o'clock on Friday, and I don't go back to work till Monday. So.
I can't wait for you to go to work Monday.
I watched Super Mario Brothers. It was good.
That's high on my list.
Yeah.
With all the positive reviews going. Question: I know you're playing the outro here, but you've seen. So Charles Martinet, the Mario from all the video games and stuff, his name's on the credits for the movie. How does he portray in the movie? It kind of made me curious.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm just interested because
I mean, did they show like any clips or anything from like the old games or?
Here we go. Do we do that or anything?
I mean, you hear woohoo and
that's him. Okay,
something like that and stuff,
but not Chris Pratt doing it.
I don't know.
I can't wait to see it.
I don't know. I thought Chris Pratt was a great Mario. Yeah, but we can talk more about that after you see it.
It's coming.
But guys, we appreciate you tuning in tonight. Real quick, be sure to visit Revolution Nutrition in Camden, South Carolina. Use promo code Lowdown for 10% off. Remember, get your tickets to PCW Faces of the Future at pcw.ticketspice.com/Faces of the Future. As always, we appreciate you tuning in. My name is Elliot.
And I'm Shane.
And I'm Showtime. This has been the Lowdown POPcast. As always, let's keep it popping.
Nice. I was trying to hold that one in.